States. It's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mark from the States. How are we doing today? I'm doing fantastic. Happy St. George's Day, right? That's today. Happy St. George's Day. Don't know too much about it. I'm going to learn a little bit about it today. We're going to look at some things, 9 things you didn't know about St. George's Day, I believe is what we're looking at. It's from the English Heritage website. If you don't know, go on over. It is englishheritage.org.uk, english-heritage.org.uk. But before we get into it, I was just marveling. I received a book from Ian. Thank you. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. This is an awesome book. So delighted to have it, and I'm so blessed that you thought of me and sent me this. This is a book. Provides miscellaneous of curiosities, historic features, quirky details to spot as you wander the city. This is like perfect. This is perfect. So thank you. Thank you so much. I started reading this the other day, and I got it, I think, a few days ago. And it'll arrive in my P.O. box if you do send something, and it usually takes me a little while to get it because I have to get it. If it's bigger than, I have a little box, so if it's bigger than the box itself, I have to just take the slip up to the front counter, and they have hours that they're open. Generally it's the same hours as my working hours. So most of the time I can't get it until like Saturday when I'm not at work. So if it arrives on a Monday, it usually sits there until Saturday. But thank you. Thank you so much for this. This has been an awesome read so far. St. George's Day. Is any of you getting out there and celebrating any of that? Any of it? So if you are, I know it's a very patriotic day. It's to honor and celebrate St. George, who... the things I do know, just briefly, St. George, patron saint of, I don't really know what he's the patron saint of. I know he died for his faith. I know he was a Roman soldier. So technically he's not even English, but he's the patron saint in many different places. Let's see here. He's actually from what is now known as Turkey, I believe, who also, I believe, has things with St. George. I believe he's buried in Israel. Because I do remember seeing a little history lesson on it, and I can't remember where, so this is the stuff that's sticking out. He died defending Christianity, I believe. It's where the flag comes from, St. George's flag, right? So yeah. Oh, I also heard was it King, the original, before St. George, there was another king, or another patron saint, and I think it was King, I want to say King Edward the Conqueror. That may be wrong, probably is wrong, before, but then St. George became the patron saint. Let's see, other patron saints in the UK. Let's see, the Welsh have Saint David. the Scottish have St. Andrew, and of course, Irish have St. Patrick. And then St. George for England. Out of those four, only St. David and St. Patrick are actually from the respective countries. Huh? How about that? How many of you knew that? St. Andrew, I believe, is he's originally oh gosh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comments. But let's go to 9 things you didn't know about St. George. This is English Heritage Site. You can go read the full thing here. We're just going to kind of briefly go. I got a busy day at work. I got to travel up north again today. But I just wanted to get this in and wish you all a happy St. George's Day if you do celebrate it. I think it's a good day. Celebrate your history, celebrate your country, celebrate your culture. It's okay. Everyone else gets to do it. I think you have every right to show your patriotism. Of course, there's going to be people who take it too far. I get it. It's, I'm trying to think of what we would have similar here in the States. I bet you there's people today here in the States that are celebrating St. George as well. I guarantee it. I'm going to have to look to see if there is. 9 things you didn't know about St. George. Think of St. George, and you're probably picturing heroic knight. Oh, that's right. He over the years, the story is he was a knight who saved a damsel in distress from a dragon, slayed a dragon. So, I mean, how popular can you get? How cool is you're slaying dragons? Today, St. George's story is iconic as his white and red flag. Of course, we all know the Union flag is made up of the 3 flags there, and together, the Scottish, right, and the Irish flag, and then the St. George there as well. Gosh, you're going to have to correct me on a lot of things. I'm trying to do this from memory. But like many early saints, the exact details of his life remain a mystery. Here, we separate fact from fiction. Okay, St. George wasn't English. We knew this. Originally, he was essentially Roman, right? He was Roman, he was a Roman soldier stationed basically in Turkey or something like that. Cappadocia, which is modern day Turkey. He was born there, and could you imagine? Let's see, in the Roman province of Palestine is where he died. Oh wait, modern day Israel. Okay, in Lod. Okay, he wasn't a knight either. Oh, okay. Although George is often depicted in popular culture as a knight in shining armor, the truth is less fanciful. Okay. He was just an officer, so in the Roman army, so maybe that's how it gets that knight status. So it was described as a martyr. That's what I always thought he was. Died for his Christian faith. It is, let's see here, Emperor, I won't even, Diocletian? In the early 4th century, he was executed for refusing to make a sacrifice in honor of the pagan god. So that is what they believe. It is believed that he did. So we're not disproving that. So that is what is believed. But he never visited England. So I knew he wasn't from here, but he'd never been here. And I believe that's the same with St. Andrew. He'd actually never gone to Scotland as well. You'll have to fact check me on a lot of this stuff. He became popular with English kings. Edward had banners bearing the emblem of St. George, red and white cross. Yes, Edward III had a strong interest in the saint and owned a relic, oh God, of his blood. Okay, so Henry VIII is the first who started representing the cross to represent England. Interesting. The dragon, of course, was added later. Like many stories, it gets embellished over the centuries. Representation between good and evil. Okay. Survived from the 9th century. Holy moly, that's a long time. 500 years after his death. It was popularized in the Middle Ages. Okay. St. George was a saint for 1,000 years before the holiday. Okay. He was canonized in 494. Wow. That's incredible. 494. So, following the Battle of Agincourt, hopefully I'm pronouncing that, in 1415, St. George's Day became one of the most important feast days in the English calendar. It's celebrated for hundreds of years on April 23rd, which is possibly the date of his martyrdom. I didn't know that. I didn't know the significance of April 23rd. So there you go. We can get it. England isn't the only country to celebrate St. George. Can you name without looking at him? Of all the countries that do, there's quite a bit, I believe. International saint. Let's see here. With Venice, Genoa, Portugal, Ethiopia, Catalonia, among others. Interesting. That's a lot of places. People turned to St. George for protection. During the Middle Ages, people believed that St. George, was one of the 14 holy helpers. A group of saints who could help during epidemic diseases. Interesting. St. George's protection was invoked against several nasty diseases, many fatal, with infectious causes including plague and leprosy. That's hilarious. The 14 holy helpers. That would be, that name would certainly have to be changed if it were being used today. It's sounds like a band name. They would probably just drop the 14 and just go with the holy helpers. That actually sounds a lot better. From 1100, St. George's help was sought to protect the English army. In Shakespeare's Henry V, hero calls on the saint during his battle cry at the Battle of Harfleur, in the famous "Once more unto the breach, dear friends" speech, crying God for Harry, England, and St. George. Interesting. Okay, so he's part of lore, history, Shakespeare, it's literature. I mean, he's ticking the boxes in all the legend categories for sure. 500 years later, during the First World, a ghostly apparition of St. George is said to have aided British troops. Is this the battle? Okay, of the Mons. I remember doing a video about that, but I didn't know the ghost was St. George. The retreat from the Mons of the naval commander of the Zeebrugge raid, is I'm saying that right, cited the saint as an inspiration. Interesting. And lastly, St. George represents those we honor. Is that the Order of the Garter? Okay. Founded by Edward III in 1348, is the highest order of chivalry in the country. To this day, St. George's Cross still appears on the Garter badge, and his image is the pendant of the Garter chain. Okay, in 1940, King George VI created a new award for acts of the greatest heroism or courage in the circumstance of extreme danger. The George Cross, named after the king, bears the image of St. George vanquishing the dragon. I'm wondering, did I know that connection? I don't know. The image of St. George also adorns many of the memorials built to honor those killed during World War I. That I did not know. Interesting. I know there were parades today, maybe still going, depending on when you watch this. Hopefully they were safe, but I've also seen that there's been issues with maybe some agitators or even some people against what St. George is. I saw a poll, 30% don't know the significance of St. George's Day or don't care, something like that. You'll have to give me a little more facts on that. But I got a lot of emails from people saying, hey, St. George's Day. So I know there's a lot of you out there that still at least recognize it. You may not go out there waving your flag, but I think if you do have the ability to wave your country's flag, do it. I have mine sitting out in front of my yard 365 days a year. It's not a flag per se, although I do have a flag right here. It's rolled up, but I haven't. I got it from my mom's house. She's selling the house, so one of the things I got from my dad, he had one, so I took it. But I have a painted flag. It's kind of like a piece of a fence that was painted, that my wife Jennifer painted as the flag. It looks really cool, and it's part of our yard's decoration. And I won't take it down for anybody. It stays up year round. So if you have a flag, hopefully you brought it out today. Hopefully you leave it out. I know in some areas waving your flag, showing your patriotism is a great thing, and there's some of that here. If I were to wave my flag all the time, people, or maybe even they do just with my flag that's out there painted on a fence, maybe they think I'm some far right wing dude. I don't know. I don't care. Live your life. I'm gonna live mine. And that's what I say. And if you're proud of your country, get out there and show it for sure. You should be proud. There's a lot of history your country is involved with that is good, that has been good for this world. So, the naysayers are always going to point out the negatives, but you know what? There's a lot of good. That's what I say. My country gets a lot of flack, and deservedly so. But we've done a lot of good as well. And I'm proud, of that. So you should be too. So what would be the equivalent here in the United States of St. George's Day? Memorial? No. It can't be any of the big ones. Can't be 4th of July. Can't be Memorial Day. Can't be... We waved our flags. We have flags out all the time. We, do a lot of that stuff already year round, really. Trying to think, obviously we have a St. Patrick's Day. Why don't we have a St. George's Day where we go out and hit the bars? And I think we should. If we have a St. Patrick's Day, why can't we have a St. George's Day? The English were here first before the Irish in the States. Maybe that's why. We didn't go to war with Ireland. Maybe that's why. But I think it's been long gone, right? I think we should be able to. I would fly, if I had a St. George's flag, I would fly one. I have a couple things with the Union flag on it that I don't have a problem showing people. I think the St. George's flag is awesome. It's just simplicity at its finest, right? Just white with the red cross. It's beautiful. So if I had one, I wouldn't mind showing it on. We should have a St. George's Day, is what I'm saying here. Just like we have St. Patrick's Day, we should also have a St. Andrew's Day as well. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, I'm going to leave you there. Off to work. You guys are amazing. Hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. I did learn a couple things about St. George's Day today. Hopefully, you had or are having a wonderful day. Own it today, people. You guys are amazing. And the world would be a lot different place if it weren't for you. So just know that. Have a great day. Take care. All right. Bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark. And he's from